Be back. Alright, we're live once again for another Master Tunes podcast with me, your host, Jack. And on today's show, we have a whole plethora of our regulars. We have George, Carlson, Ryoga, Proto, and Sylvia.
Hi.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody's here!
Jesus
What?
Christ.
So, coming on today's show, depending what we feel like and what we've got time for, we talk about Adventure Time, DuckTales reboot, some shit that Michelle Rodriguez said, the Oscars, Teen Titans Go and their crossover with Young Justice,
Oh,
and
sweet
of
Jesus.
course, a bit later, our movie of the week, which will be finishing off our month of live-action movies based on animated material.
Thank crispy Christ crackers.
Yeah, we'll get onto that later, but let's just say this was not a month well spent.
No. This is probably the worst month of my entire life.
What about Christmas? Because your parents hate you for giving presents.
Ha.
It's like, George, you know, we should give you a lump of coal, but we kind of need it for the fire this week, so here, have a little sweet. Don't eat it all at once. Alright, so we're going to kickstart the show today, and we're going to be talking about some quite big news. Adventure Time, the movie.
Yay!
My eardrums.
So, Adventure Time, a really, really popular show on Cartoon Network. A movie's being developed at Warner Bros. For the big screen. Not too sure who's doing what, although it's kind of interesting because they already were kind of going to do an Adventure Time movie. I mean, at least a TV movie, and that ended up getting broken down into a series of episodes. So maybe one of the reasons why they broke it down was because they had bigger fish to fry, so to speak.
And the more interesting news is that the directors will be Chris McKay and Roy Lee, who
Oh,
you
no,
might
that-
know as being
They're
producers
producing,
of
not
the-
directing.
they're producing this movie, and you might know them from the Lego movie.
Yeah.
So that's good
do we
news
know
to me.
Who's directing it?
We have no
idea.
No clue.
Yeah, just announce the producers and give a massive announcement like this and just not announce who is actually going to be behind it. Great idea, Cartoon Network and Warner Bros. Great idea.
Well,
Maybe
yeah.
they didn't have it yet.
It's actually kind of interesting, like how like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, like a movie would only really be announced if it was definitely going to get made. While now,
Yeah.
like you hear about like a movie about to get made, and it
Yeah.
won't be released for like another 5 years, something preposterous like that.
Well, the interesting thing here is because Cartoon Network hasn't released a movie in theaters since the Powerpuff Girls movie, and we all know
And
that
that's
failed. And that failed, so that to see them have this much confidence, it's really good.
Well, Adventure Time
Let's just hope they do it right.
Adventure Time is massive. I think it's probably
Yeah.
Cartoon Network's biggest show, and it's got like a big audience with kids and adults.
Yeah.
So like maybe they're hoping it'll be like the next kind of like Lego movie,
Let's hope.
because I was really excited to see the Lego movie in the theatre. So hopefully Adventure Time will. So like Sylvia, you're probably the biggest fan of Adventure Time here.
Yeah.
What are your hopes for the movie? What do you want to see?
I have too many hopes. I just hope they don't mess it up. That's really all I hope for. I'm such a ginormous fan, and I'd be so pissed off if they ruin it. I just hope everyone from the show works on this movie.
I just don't want it to turn into like a feature-length episode.
Yeah, that's kind of yeah. Ugh.
Like, it's gonna be interesting to see like how much like new lore they put in, or what they're
Yeah.
going to focus on and stuff. So what does everyone else think? Is everyone excited?
Yeah.
Don't care?
No.
I'm verging on the line of don't care and partially interested, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I think it is pretty big news, but again, like because like so much stuff gets like announced like so far ahead of like even pre-production, there's nothing to show for it, so it's kind of hard. Yeah, it exists.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
So we'll have to
This is-
see. Like, okay, how could it be shit?
Lots of ways, actually.
Well, it can. It can. I mean, here's the thing. Despite the fact that Warner Brothers is doing this, after all, Warner Brothers does own Cartoon Network in part. And the only reason why they're doing this is because of the fact that yes, currently Adventure Time is the flagship franchise of Cartoon Network. In terms of this, basically their very first attempt of doing the movie. The problem now is that yes, it is their biggest show, but there are also a lot of people who have no idea what the show is about. So naturally, when you're gonna write this movie, you're gonna have to cater to both audiences: the older fans who've seen the show from 2010, and those who've never seen Adventure Time before.
Well,
Yeah.
it does say that Pendleton will have some involvement in the writing and producing of the film, so that's good news. And
Right.
some people, whoever I never heard of, John Berg and Kate Adams, are overseeing the project for Warner Brothers.
Right.
So it's good to see that Penn is doing something. That's one good news.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
not some whoever.
Another thing you have to consider is that when Adventure Time actually tries to explore places that's other than the animated series, it's a hit and miss. Let's start. I never read the comics, so I don't know how that went. But I do know that as far as their gaming format is concerned, and believe it or not, the games are actually connected to the animated series. Some are good and some are not. So again, it's a miss. And now we have this movie, which is pretty much as far as the show is concerned, they're also pulling another big risk here. That whether or not, plus the fact, another thing you have to consider is that there aren't that many animated movies that are done in 2D. When was the last 2D animated that came out? I mean, completely 2D animated.
Winnie Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh, when was that? Years ago.
2011.
And
2011.
that's
why would they make it
2009.
CGI?
12, 13,
CGI adventure.
So it's like 6 years ago. And Winnie the Pooh wasn't even a big hit. Most people these days watch things that are 3D animated, like what we see with Pixar or DreamWorks. So, and as far as moviegoers are concerned, animation, it's currently still in the trend where 3D or CG animation is better than 2D traditional animation. So that's another risk of Adventure Time. We don't even know if they're going to be 2D or go to 3D.
Maybe they'll mix
Yeah.
them up like SpongeBob 2. So it'll be like Jake out of water or something.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they'll go to the real world and be like, whoa, look Finn, there's so many humans. And Finn will be like, yeah. And then they'll
Let's
meet,
just hope they introduce the characters to
they'll meet
those who
Patrick.
don't know and do it right.
yeah,
But
and
as far as we know, it's still in early development. It's not even started filming, so we don't know what's going on. So all we can do is just wait and see what happens.
and then they'll meet Ashton Kutcher and he'll laugh and have wacky adventures as they have to help him keep his job, but he has to help them save the world.
Honestly, that sounds something they would do. To be honest.
Yeah.
Okay then, moving on. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright, so, our next item, DuckTales. Woo!
Yay.
Watch this fucking
Mm.
show,
DuckTales.
DuckTales. Yeah. I never watched
Oh
DuckTales.
boy.
I've never seen it either.
Disney
I've seen a
bought
couple
Oh.
of episodes.
Gosh,
such shows
yeah.
as Gravity Falls and that new Star Lord and the Forces.
Star versus the Forces of Evil.
Yeah, Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Disney actually have ordered a new series of DuckTales launching in 2017 for channels around the world. The new Disney Channel TV series thingy will have all the original characters coming back. There's not a lot to go on really, apart from they're bringing them back.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Again, like telling everyone without actually like showing anything for it.
The DuckTales.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is exciting news because of the fact that DuckTales, back in the 90s, was a big hit. It's one of the best animated shows Disney has ever had. I mean, if you actually watch it now, you can see that the animation quality hasn't aged very well. It still looks brand new, and that's one of the reasons why everybody loved DuckTales. Also, the fact that it's also one of the shows that made the character Scrooge McDuck a popular character in the Disney franchises, as well as of course Huey, and Louie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't
I
watched it.
I watched it like a little bit.
So if you can have the time, try to get a copy of DuckTales. I assure you, you will not.
I've seen Darkwing Duck. I know that Launchpad is in both, but that's about it.
Yeah, I find like the children
It's a spin-off of the DuckTales series, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of. I don't like characters that they, like ignore the needs of others. Like in this, like the three little ducks will just do whatever the fuck they want without any regard for like personal safety or Scrooge McDuck's safety. And they get all sorts of. I know Scrooge is greedy, so like to a point he deserves it. But at the same time, like
he's Scrooge, so he's supposed to act like For those who don't know who Scrooge McDuck is, he actually made the first appearance in the Mickey Mouse Christmas Carol, and he actually plays the role of Ebenezer Scrooge. That's why that's a green Scrooge McDuck. So he was used again, and he wasn't used again until in the DuckTales series, where he retained his character of being this greedy bastard. Not really greedy bastard, but a duck who wants nothing more but money, and goes on a series of adventures to treasure hunting for anything that makes him even more richer. But and tagging along was Huey and Louie, the nephews of Donald Duck, and then we had a bunch of other characters. And for some reason, that blown out of proportion, and then it became one of Disney's classic hits. Donald Duck was part of the series. He plays a minor character. And in addition, Scrooge McDuck also made several appearances in the comics, which further expanded his character. A lot of people, especially those in Europe, actually see Scrooge McDuck see more character development in Scrooge McDuck, to the point where where things get really dramatic and really serious, kind of like Howard the Duck in a sense, but the people at Disney Comics had to give it a more of an artistic flair, so to speak, so that you would feel what Scrooge was feeling when something bad happens. So, and a few years ago, they did re-release the DuckTales game for the PS3, PS4, Xbox, which was also popular back in the day. So, again, it was a huge hit. It shows that everybody does know what DuckTales is, and they love the game, and love the franchise. So I guess that's why they decided, okay, let's bring back the DuckTales series.
Yeah.
Well, let's just hope they do it right, because now how many generations have come through? Like 2 generations already?
That's enough. It is also to show a new generation of fans. It's exactly what DuckTales is. Again, it started a series of animated features that came out in the 90s that got hits. So after DuckTales, we had the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, we had Tailspin, we had the Timon and Pumbaa series. The list goes on. We even had the the Goof Troop? I think the Goof Troop also. No, Goof Troop was in the early 2000s, not in the 90s.
Yeah.
But yeah, it goes that far. So DuckTales, as far as Disney history, does have a footprint in Disney's history.
Sick.
Huh.
Wow, DuckTales coming soon. 2 years, well, even 3 years pretty much from now.
2 years.
Well, think about it, like 2015 and 16, it was 2.5 years realistically.
Okay.
Yeah, unless it comes out fucking
Yes.
New Year's Day on 2017. Alright, moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
Alright, so what did you guys want to talk about next?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Any preferences?
Not really. What do you think?
Advanced condolences to friends and family of the late Miller Nimoy. The long and
Oh yeah.
There's nothing really to talk about with Leonard Nimoy. He's dead, you know. Everything with Leonard Nimoy that can be said has been said. All the spot quotes, the death from Wrath Khan being
let's not
referenced.
forget, he also did a couple of animated roles as well. He played Galvatron in the first Transformers movie for once, aside from his animated self in the animated version of Star Trek. So that's why Transformers fans also paid tribute to him, because he was the original voice of Galvatron.
I guess. Well,
I don't know. I don't know.
in case Leonard Nimoy.
Sad.
Yeah. God damn.
It is sad, but like just like everything that can be said has been said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, what we're gonna say? We miss him. We loved him in this role and that role, and did this and did that. You know.
Alright, yeah.
It's amusingly William Shatner will be missing.
Did not
his funeral.
attend his funeral.
Yeah, missed his funeral.
Well, that's because he's like doing
Time.
He had a particular conflict, so he had to miss the funeral. He wanted to go, but he was also doing a charity event at that same time, so he's not going to make
Yeah,
it.
I was about to say that he was
Don't you
doing a
think that's
charity.
bullshit? Like, a really close colleague of yours dies. You could record like a video for the charity thing and say, "I'm really sorry, but my friend's just died."
Yeah,
Like,
I
if
have
he
to
really
say.
wanted to go, he could have allowed himself to go.
Yeah, I have to say that was kind of immature of him.
Yeah, he is known for being an egotist, but
Hmm.
that's
No,
the there.
because he's basically under contract that he has to attend, and there's simply no way. So I don't blame him. If you're under contract obligations to do things, and someone dies, you can't get out of that contract. You got to do your thing.
Yeah, but I mean, like, people have broken their contracts in the past, like
Yeah.
movie stuff and that.
And Shatner is no Brad Pitt. Yes, he's popular. He's a big name, but he's not a really rich guy. So, and plus, he's a few years younger than Leonard. He won't look like it, but yeah, he's in his 80s.
Yeah.
Mm.
Huh.
Anyway, talk about something else. So we can have like a little debate if you want, with some stuff Michelle Rodriguez has said. Do you want to do that?
I guess.
Okay. So this has been like in the news very recently. So what she said, Michelle Rodriguez, who done like a lot of action female hero business. She like is quoted like apparently there's some speculation of her playing a female version of the Green Lantern, but she has entirely dismissed those reports and urges Hollywood to stop stealing all the white people's superheroes, which sounds like a bit weird. Like, kind of read into it. What she says does kind of make sense. So, just trying to find it, but basically what she's actually saying is like, it's better to have stronger characters through original origins than to just like change the ethnicity or like agenda of like a pre-existing big character. So like some examples of that would be, you know, like Black Panther, Storm, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, so on and so forth. So what do you guys think about it? I reckon we have about the same opinion. Ryan,
Yeah.
do you agree with that?
I mean,
Oh yeah, I would agree partially that what Michelle is trying to say is that like you said, there's this the movie industry, because we're in a superhero movie business now, they are trying to one up each other, and one of these things is basically recast a specific character who is traditionally white into that of a minority. The best example, of course, Michael B. Jordan, who will be playing the Human Torch in Fox's Fantastic Four reboot, which did spark this debate as to what's going on. So Michelle is one of those fans who say, "Don't do that." I prefer seeing Johnny Storm as white. I don't mind if Johnny Storm is white. Don't make him black just because you wanted more minorities in. If you want to make a black superhero or an Asian superhero or a Latina superhero, then create one, but don't make it based on a popular character. I was reminded of the I don't know if you guys recall when Warner Brothers was trying to release the Looney Tunes DVDs. They were actually considering not including all of the episodes that feature Speedy Gonzalez because he was being portrayed as a stereotypical Mexican. But the Latino community was upset about it. They say, don't remove Speedy Gonzalez. We know he acts like a stereotypical Mexican, but we love the guy, so bring him back.
It's not necessarily a negative stereotype, because like a negative stereotype of a Mexican would be like, you know, sleeping, being lazy, and all that stuff. Well, like Speedy Gonzalez, you know, isn't his fucking name? Like he's running around all the time helping people, you know.
Yeah, but he is a popular character, and especially when even in the Looney Tunes show that came out a few years ago, they did stop him yelling the part that you're trying to say. So he just acts like you're
Leave it to Mel Blanc, honey.
I know Mel Blanc, sorry. But that's the point that Michelle was saying, that it's okay to have a white Peter Parker, it's okay to have a white Bruce Wayne or a white Superman or a white Hal Jordan. Don't change it for the sake of it. Everybody loved them. Why would you want to change it? Is it because you want to attract a certain group of people? Get it? No, they like it just the way they are.
They're just changing the charge.
And I think what we're all going to agree on, as well as that, is like, it's fine for like an actor or an actress to be cast because they're best for a role, and wherever they come from, like, doesn't like matter. For example, you know, like the Human Torch, like, it really doesn't matter. But doing it just for the sake of having diversity, like, we don't want to have this more obscure character in, we'll just change this guy or make it that guy, like almost like patronizing way. What she also said was, I have the quote here, she would prefer to see characters of another race have their own mythologies built around them, so like we said, like Black Panther and stuff.
Yeah, Black Panther, yes.
Yeah.
Which I do agree with. In the short run, like, yes, it may be hard to get them off the ground, but in the long run, it really pays off to have like a great character who's completely, you know, of their own, and you know, like, you know, Vixen, Storm.
Exactly.
I think the best example here would be Miles Morales. Or no. The biggest example here is Kamala Khan. She's the modern version of Miss Marvel, where she's basically of Pakistani descent. So she's a Muslim, and yet her ethnicity didn't affect her character in every way, in that she is now one of Marvel's biggest characters as far as the comics concerned, despite the fact that she's a Muslim, and she's not even white. She's Pakistani. Yes, they're carried out for, so that's one example that Kamala Khan was able to build up her own legacy, her own mythology, and she became very popular enough. So that's what Michelle was also trying to say. Make these kind of characters, make them their own, make them their own, grade them their own, and eventually people will love them despite the skin color.
Yeah, I'll tell you another reason I kind of like more for like original stuff, because like during like kind of like the past couple of decades, we've seen like a serious oversaturation of the superhero genre, and we've had
Yes.
so many Spider-Man films, Batman films, Superman films. It's just like it would be nice to see something new, which I'm really pleased that Marvel is kind of like branching out with their going to they have a Captain Marvel film and a Batman film, and, like I think that's good because even though I know the big wigs are like, oh, we have to have a Batman film and make loads of money because it's Batman, and we don't want to have a more obscure superhero because it won't make so much money. But like, as an audience, it does get tiring seeing the same plot over and over again, which is why, as we talked about last week, I'm really foreseeing a Miles Morales Spider-Man because it's just
Right.
like really fresh.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, like the diversity thing is just kind of like a perk and a nice opportunity to like, branch out and see things different.
And Marvel really capitalizes. They know that the problem with DC, which is basically the biggest problem with DC as a brand, is that when you talk about DC, you only talk about two characters, Superman and Batman. That's it. Wonder Woman's a bit of a stretch, but yeah. So, and for the most people, most casual people, only know those three characters. They don't know much about Superman or Cyborg or even Robin, the Teen Titans. Not many people know that. And unlike Marvel, they have you got X-Men, Spider-Man, the Avengers. So they have even in the comic form before they start doing the movies that are very familiar with the general audience know than DC does, and decide, let's capitalize on them. Let's make these characters into movies. Now here we are in a superhero war.
But I mean, like, I'd only really say the reason why Iron Man and stuff are really famous because they made good films out of them. I don't imagine they'll nearly be as famous as they are if the films were like as good as, like the Daredevil movie or the Green Lantern movie. So I don't think it's so much as like Marvel making them good. It's just the fact that their films themselves are good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wouldn't imagine like people going to see the Marvel films watching the Avengers Assemble TV series. There might be like a renewed interest in like the comics and stuff for some people. But,
Yes, it did.
But yeah, I think you're right with the Batman and Superman stuff. Even though I do think DC is better than Marvel, in my humble opinion.
Your
So-
humble opinion.
No, it's fine. It's DC. Choosing DC and Marvel is the same as choosing a Mac or a PC, or Pepsi versus Coke, or I don't know, the Dodgers versus the Lions. I don't watch baseball, so. Or Formula One versus NASCAR.
So,
That I can do.
any final thoughts on this before we move on?
That they should really do that. They should just create new characters around that. That instead of changing the color for the sake of changing the color.
Yeah. I'd like to see an original British superhero in the American superhero market.
That would be
All
awesome.
I can think of is Captain Britain, and he fucking sucks.
Black Knight.
My opinion is being underrepresented in Marvel and DC. Actually, that's not true. Henry Cavill, who's played Superman, is British, which I think is pretty
It's
cool.
awesome.
He's like Superman's like this big American, like patriotism and all that stuff, and he's played by like a British guy. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, this kind of went down as I expected. Like, we basically all agree. It's not-
Yeah.
I mean, I can see like on like Tumblr or something this getting really ugly. Like some people going, yeah, fucking white people need more support and need to stop being attacked, and like other people being like, it's so racist in Hollywood. It's so racist. We need more. So
And this is why Hollywood should never listen to Tumblr in any form or way.
yeah. See, Master Tunes, more people should watch this. We give our level-headed opinion, our open-minded opinion. If you have an opinion, you can comment below, and we'll be sure to ignore it. Only joking, we'll probably read it. Okay, so I think we'll do our Young Justice stuff, and then we'll do our movie of the week, because I do have to get up tomorrow. I've got stuff to do.
Yeah.
I
Go to
think,
bed. I'm still recovering from my injuries here, so I'm not really feeling well. But I'm just I must go on. So
You think you're bad? I'm still recovering from watching this Teen Titans Go episode. I'm watching
Oh.
Speed Racer.
you have no idea what's been going on in the social media community ever since that come out. That's why I made that silly thread, the serious thread on the Massachusetts Assembled Facebook, which is basically I just want to see if you guys can get the joke there. Is that you're try to make a normal conversation while acting serious. Teen Titans get serious.
Yeah. So speaking of which, let's get fucking stuck into it. So Teen Titans Go.
Oh Jesus.
Aired an episode a couple of days ago called Let's Get Serious, where it was a crossover with Young Justice. Crossover is a bit of a fucking stretch because it has 3 characters. It's got Miss Martian, Aqualad, and Superboy, and only Aqualad talks. And so before we actually talk about the episode itself, we're going to talk about some stuff behind the episode. So the only reason it actually happened was because Carrie Payton, I think that's how you say his name, who voices Cyborg, actually voiced Aqualad in the Young Justice one. So Aqualad's the only Young Justice character who speaks. So that's basically how it came around. And the interview I have here is with the executive producer Michael Jelenic.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Well, who cares?
We'll call him Michael the Schmeichel. So he talks about how they normally don't try and bring in DC characters unless they weren't in the original New Teen Titans series. So they broke the rule because of what I just said. But also, this is a quote from him. We had a story due in 3 days. We had no script, so we had to write something very fast. And we all had strong opinions about how people view our show. How some people will disregard our show because it's not serious enough. So we decided to jump on that and see if it worked. Everyone wants a more serious version of Teen Titans. Well, okay, we'll give you our version of a more serious version.
It wasn't even serious. It was still as crappy as the original
So
series itself.
he basically goes on to revel in this hatred of Teen Titans Go. By saying, there certainly is. I go online, and by far the most hated show of any series I've ever worked on. But it's also the most successful. It's the #1 kids show on TV right now. It's been SpongeBob, for fuck's sake. All the feedback I tend to get is from people who curse it every day and loudly. But there's definitely a bit of disconnect between how the show is performing and what I read online. So, basically, this episode, he's trying to incite people to get because if you think about it, I reckon the people who actually enjoy this show are young kids age 7 to 10 who don't really go part of the forums and stuff to talk about it, while the people who do actually do it were fans of the old series and Young Justice, who are more likely to blog and talk about it. So I think that's more why there's so much more negative reaction online for him to read. But anyway, so onto the actual episode itself. I fucking hated it enormously. Do you want to know why?
Same, ditto.
Same.
I'll explain. So I am both a fan of Young Justice and Teen Titans. So Young Justice was a pretty serious, cartoon. But Teen Titans, I don't know where this fucking twat Michael got the idea that it's a serious Teen Titans, because it's not. If you watch it, it was designed to be more light-hearted than the Batman and their series and Superman and stuff, like a younger audience. But it's a really good balance of having funny jokes and stuff. while still like being invested. And there's a key point, like two key points I want to make. One of them is a comparison to Batman: The Brave and the Bold, which is also a light-hearted version of something more serious. But the difference with Batman: Brave and the Bold is that it has its own continuity. It doesn't, it has nothing to do with any other Batman series. It just has some of the same characters, so it can do what it likes without having to maintain any continuity, which doesn't fuck you up. And the other thing I wanted to address, which is the key flaw to Teen Titans Go, and what Teen Titans do so well, is because the characters like each other. Like in Teen Titans, like they might argue and like make fun of each other, but there's affection behind the joke. It's like friends with real life. Like, you know, like me and my mate Lewis, like, we'll make fun of each other. Like might get a bit personal, but we still like each other. We'll help each other out. While Teen Titans Go, like even at the start of the episode, like they're trying to fight crime to save the city, and you know, like Robin's trying to like do his thing, and then like they keep making fart noises. It's like, you bunch of cunts. Like, do you not give a shit about other people? Like, you know, do stupid stuff at home, not when trying to save lives, you dickheads.
Oh, that came by to bite us in the ass later.
And you see that through all of Teen Titans Go. It's like they're so unpleasant to each other. I think the only reason why they're in the same team is because they're such horrible and despicable people. No one else can stand them, so they're stuck with each other. You know, random episode, boys versus girls, where for no reason, and we're like, they're both egotistical and assholes as each other. There's no moral or anything.
Mr. Enter does a good review on that episode. It's
no like mutual respect reached at the end, like a certain Powerpuff Girls episode. They're just dickheads. And then with this episode, you know, Batman: Brave and the Bold. Yeah, when it does like silly stuff, it doesn't like try and like offend any of the past material. Like it doesn't try and take the piss out Batman the animated series or the Christian Bale movie. It's just his own thing. Well, like this.
That would be hilarious, actually. Like Batman's Brave and Bold trying to take the piss out of the Christopher Nolan movies.
But like this is
like, when Brave of the Bold came out, a lot of people actually hated it. That's why it got canceled. And they decided, you know, in the final episode, they actually decided to make the show about the show's cancellation. I remember the episode well. They actually introduced Batmite, played by Rod Paulson. And Rod Paulson actually broke the fourth wall, that he's playing this character, and he wanted to cancel Batman: Brave and the Bold because of how bad it is, and replace it with a new series, which is supposed to be Beware the Batman. But just to throw everybody off, instead of having Beware the Batman, they decided to produce a CGI series featuring Batgirls. Like, what the fuck am I saying this? And so, in a way, at that point, the staff do know that fans didn't like Brave and the Bold. And you can if you read the interview with Chen, like he also wrote from Brave and the Bold, that they're trying to say, hey, give us a chance, we'll make it good. Give us some. But apparently the fans don't want none of it. And now we go to Teen Titans Go, and that's the same thing. But
it's even
Joe
worse.
decided to give it a different approach, saying, you know what? Go ahead, hate us all you want. We're gonna treat it as though we're the bad guy, we're the heel wrestlers in WWE. You hate us because you love us, and it's drive us to make even more of it.
But I really didn't think Batman: The Brave and the Bold wasn't that bad. Like, it wasn't my cup of tea, but like, you know, it was trying to do its own thing, and it was fine. Well, like, Teen Titans Go is just like it wouldn't be so bad if it was its own thing. But for some strange reason, even though there's like different creators behind it, maintains really weird continuity. And it's like all the same voice actors and designs.
I think there's nothing to do with continuity because they have their. I don't know if you've seen some of the episodes where the Teen Titans actually got killed off on screen.
Oh, I don't mean that. I mean like kind of story elements from the past. series. So, for example, the stuff with Tara, like
Mm-hmm.
they make her wear the same clothes as before, and they also like say like last time they saw her, she was like stone or whatever, and then she was in the class with her memory wiped, and then they made her like just basically bully Beast Boy, even though
Huh?
like they had like a love
I love.
relationship before, and
Well,
there's no reason for her to be such a bitch.
hmm
Wait, what are we here? What are we talking about? Beyond the crap?
Oh, I just mean like how it is kind of
And
the same concept.
anyhow, I guess I'll be the ones going to talk about this, is that. But I like to know what everybody thinks about the show before I make my say, because what I'm going to say, I can expect people to throw eggs on me. George, Proto, Carson, Sylvia, got anything else to say about the episode?
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
I didn't
It
watch
was
the
bull
episode.
crap.
Didn't watch it.
Don't watch it ever.
I didn't see the episode, but I've seen like parts of other episodes on YouTube and stuff, and like, I don't know, I think some of it's pretty funny, and like, I
Oh,
don't really care that like they're making fun of the old show, because like it's not really like the same thing, even though they're using like all the same characters and actors and stuff. Like, I don't know, I just see it as like a different entity.
Did you
And
watch the original show?
what?
Did you watch the original Teen Titans?
Yeah. I mean, I liked it as a kid. It was good. I tried to watch it again like a couple years ago, and it wasn't nearly as good as I remembered it being. Maybe that was just like the couple episodes that I watched, but whatever.
It wasn't like a perfect show. I think there were some like dud episodes and stuff. But I
Yeah.
thought it was pretty good.
yeah. But
Yeah, I
no,
mean,
this
like,
show has everything.
I definitely remember like there being really good like story arcs, specifically, but like I don't know. Overall, I don't think it was like that strong.
Sure.
But whatever. But yeah, I mean, I like Teen Titans Go overall. I don't think it's like great, but it makes me chuckle, and I like the art direction, like the style.
Wow,
I do think
that
sometimes
flashy piece of crap,
it is
really?
funny. I do think
Shut up,
sometimes
Sylvia.
like
I'm so
the,
done with you.
Oh my
episode
God.
where
Guys,
yeah.
sorry, I'm not really supposed to laugh that hard. It's making my stomach hurt really bad.
Yeah,
I did throw some nerves in my stomach, so I got to be careful. Yeah, go ahead.
I think the episode where like Robin gets his mask removed and it's like a really handsome face. I thought that one was pretty funny. Like, but overall, the characters are all just so unpleasant to each other and other people. It makes it really hard to enjoy. That's basically it. Like, but I mean, sometimes that can even work if like a bunch of characters are like, you know, kind of unpleasant.
Right.
As long as like bad things happen to them,
Yeah.
because it kind of feels like, and then they see kind of like they might have been wrong all along. You know, that's quite satisfying to watch. But with this, it's just like it's just like nothing. Like something bad will happen to one of the characters. Yeah, there is one where like Robin wants to go out and save the city from an attack, and all the other Titans can't, literally no good reason, they just can't be bothered to go out. That's the Robins episode when there's multiple Robins, and at that point,
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
love that episode.
like this show is just like terrible. Like if it was one of them, if it was like Beast Boy or Cyborg, and they were two busy like playing a game, and then they learned like they need to like change their priorities and stuff, you know, that would be fine. But it was literally all of them. So when Robin gets his old team, instead of them like thinking, oh, maybe we should actually do something, like, you know, they're actually being heroes, they trick them, they manipulate the Robins into doing stuff for them, and it's like a bunch of twats.
This show made the characters more unbearable than ever before.
Ugh.
Anybody? Proto, George, can I
Hi.
make my say?
Hi.
Yeah,
What?
Proto, you go ahead, mate.
I watched it on Saturday just after I saw Kingsman. Pretty fucking awesome movie. I recommend it. Imagine how was my distaste after watching it. Just imagine it.
Doing it right now.
I literally could not imagine what you look like, mate.
Yeah.
I imagine
Yeah.
I imagine you to be like kind of like a small person with glasses.
And
Mm.
in a
No
few,
offense made by that. That's just what I kind of think about. And for some reason, you're in bed with a duvet.
but yeah, back to the point.
Mm.
Go on, Pro.
Done with the joke. Good. How however, this episode made me say to myself, "They're really not trying anymore, isn't it?" And after the end, they said, "Fuck you, writers." I'm going to go point by point to this episode. First of all, in the very, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes of the episode that your point of the Teen Titans being dicks is quite true. However, you forgot to mention one thing. They are terrible heroes. They are not heroes. Literally, before the Acolyte said that big speech where he told the Teen Titans what they are, Raven and Starfire literally free Jinx from getting to jail. I was like, what the fuck, man? Man, what are you heroes or are you fucking the bad guys?
No, that was a reference to the other episode, the Girls' Night Out episode. That was a
How-
reference.
How reference or not, it's still it's still out of character if you are calling yourselves heroes.
I don't know.
I would
I'm just saying.
I'd say, speaking of which, there is this thing that Teen Titans Go does that just like mutates the characters, but the personalities of the characters just to suit the episode. Like in this episode, Raven is like going, "Yeah, we should be more silly and stuff." I'm like, that is literally the opposite of what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be like the cool-headed one who doesn't do that sort of stuff. They even had like multiple episodes based around it, like her keeping calm. It's like, what?
The fuck.
It's just contrived. And the ending, I thought it was gonna be like a two-parter or something because it literally just ends. But no, next week's episode has nothing to do with what happens. So
There-
they don't learn any lessons. You know, nobody learns any lessons. It's them being twats.
Actually, okay, okay. George, you have anything else to say before I fill in on this one? I guess not. Okay. All right. So let me put in it because this is going to be my long rebuttal on what you guys are saying. I actually enjoyed this episode. It's actually one of the funniest episodes I've seen throughout the series. I guess because you get the joke. I get what they're trying to say here. Aqualad, because I'm gonna talk it from a psychological point of view because I was listening. That's the reason why I wanted to hear what you guys were saying. Everything that you're saying, your opposite criticism towards Teen Titans Go, is exactly what Aqualad is representing. All that criticism to a show that doesn't take itself seriously. It was never meant to be serious. It's never meant to have a continuity. It's never to have a story arc. It's just simply equivalent of a Looney Tunes show. Another good comparison to this that I've actually mentioned it on my video my podcast that I released recently is that it's if you guys remember the Nickelodeon series Rocko's Modern Life, there was an episode called Wacky Deli in which Rocko and the gang are trying to make a cartoon, but the producer wanted the cartoon to fail because he wanted to make his own version to be with a serious artwork. But Rocko and the gang decided to make it silly and insane, and he wanted it canceled, but it can't be canceled because it's so popular. And any attempts he tried. There's even one attempt where the entire script was about showing a bottle of mayonnaise on TV for 30 minutes, and that's what the whole episode is. And then the ratings shot to the roof. And he even moved further when he made the entire episode just a black screen. It further shot it to the roof. And when the staff decided, okay, what? And Robert said, okay, we're going to quit. We'll let the executive producer handle it. The producer was happy. He made the show the way he wanted. Can't cancel. What I'm trying to say is that there's this. I just noticed there's this strange relation between the Wacky Deli episode and the fandom towards Teen Titans Go, in that the executive producer of Wacky Deli represents the hatred towards Teen Titans Go. Well, Teen Titans Go is the Wacky Deli show itself. That everybody hates it, and yet they want to pull off the show so bad, and yet for some reason the absurdness of Teen Titans Go is what keeps it popular and keeps getting high ratings. And now we have this dilemma wherein, actually not really a dilemma, is that what I said at the ending is that there's really nothing we could do about it, because in part Teen Titans Go, as the director said, and there has been reports that Teen Titans Go is one of only two of the Cartoon Network originals that have the highest ratings. The other one is The Amazing World of Gumball. So you have these two shows that have the highest ratings. Yes, Adventure Time is not really at the top spot right now, but still they're being dwarfed. That's the reason, and the fact that a lot of kids watch it, even in the reruns. That's why I think I mentioned it in the earlier topics that there was a mention that Cartoon Network was considering filling the entire, much of the slots of their scheduling slots with reruns of Teen Titans Go and Gumball because they're the most popular. So in a way, those two shows are the equivalent of SpongeBob SquarePants. That kids continue to watch this, no matter how absurd it is, and they're trying to capitalize on it. And like I said, we can't do anything much about it. As long as kids keep watching the show, it gives them revenue in advertising. It also drives them to buy the merchandise, which also gives them more dollars. That means they profit. The only way Teen Titans Go gets kicked off the can is that kids stop watching it. Guys?
Yeah.
Well, obviously.
Obviously.
If no one watches something, then it doesn't get aired, you know.
Yeah, right. But
I'm not going like, why does this exist? You know, because that's like a stupid thing to say. But I just wish that it would at least have like a massive change in direction.
Yeah, more to the point, the show doesn't take itself seriously. So we shouldn't be really forcing the show to take itself seriously, because that's exactly what Aqualad was trying to do, and they did, and that's the result.
Well,
so
I'll give you.
Watch it, and then just let them do whatever they want. I mean, personally, I do enjoy the series. Actually, I do enjoy some of the humor they have, and I like the fact that because of the absurdness, that they are exploring things that normally you wouldn't explore in other cartoons. Like I mentioned before, that there's one episode wherein all the characters got killed off as part of a joke by Beast Boy. And there's even one part where, I'm serious. In this episode, the Titans were pulling a lot of prank of Beast Boy, so he made the ultimate prank that got all of them killed. And at one point, when Robin got killed and became a ghost, you know what he said? Hooray! I got superpowers now! So that was like, there's even one episode where Beast Boy wanted to be a lot like Cyborg. So what he did is that he actually had a machine that rips off portions of his body, literally. So there's a lot of gore in there, and he becomes this big hulking machine that looks at Raven's underwear. Again, that's this absurdness that they're really pushing it. Something I didn't really see, at least until The Amazing World of Gumball was doing the exact same thing. They're really pushing the boundaries on what they want to do. But this one really takes the cake. That's why I kind of enjoyed it more than than the other shows where they focused on comedy, like Ultimate Spider-Man, for example. That's terrible.
Back up.
It's going to take itself too seriously. But this one,
No. Beast Boy makes Cyborg into a machine that looks at Raven's underwear.
Beast Boy turns himself into a machine that looks at Raven's underwear.
What
What?
the fuck?
Come on. What is that?
I'm
I
sorry.
remember. I forgot the name of it, but I remember. He got his eyes taken out, and the eye was moving on its own, and went to Raven's bedroom. And Raven was reading a book. Her legs are spread, and the eye went underneath the bed to look at to look underneath her panties. And
Wait,
it was
this
like,
was in an episode?
yes.
Are they
You don't
that
see the-
drunk?
You don't see the panty shot, obviously, but it's heavily implied that Beast Boy did see her in underwear.
I got nothing. I give up. Fuck.
Those people have the
I
intelligence
know
of
the show was harmless, but if they're pulling this shit,
Yes.
just
And remember, kids love it.
shit in the show.
Yeah, but we've
I'm
already
sorry
talked
for
about
doing
kids are
this,
fucking
but
idiots.
fuck you, Cartoon
In the
Network.
words of Sean Locke,
Fuck
a kid would
you.
buy a bag of gravel if it had the face of Shrek on it. Let's face it. It's right. Well, I'd say two things. I'd say one, when Aqualad was saying the legitimate criticism of the show, like a lot of people like me have with it, it wasn't funny. It was just uncomfortable. Exactly the same in the Family Guy and Simpsons crossover, where they kept referencing how shit their shows have gotten, and it's not funny. It's just like, yeah, that's true. Don't you? Why would you reference that in your show? You know, if you're aware that it's
Arrogant.
shit, then improve your show. If you don't care, then just don't fucking say it. It makes you sound like an arsehole.
Exactly.
You know, and the second thing, the main problem I have with Teen Titans Go, even though it doesn't take itself too seriously and stuff, it's just the fact that I find it a really terrible show, such as like SpongeBob at the moment, and the people who make the shows and write the shows are in really, really good jobs that other people, much more talented, could be having, but they just because this crap is at the top. You know, like
exactly.
like pond scum. You know, like
exactly.
like Young Justice. Like that show was fucking great and had decent. I mean, we can go into why it was actually cancelled, but you know, would you prefer to see Young Justice season 3 than another one of Teen Titans Go? Another
Yes.
one of SpongeBob?
Everyone would want that. I cannot think of one single person who wouldn't want that, unless you're either socially inept, you haven't seen any episode of Young Justice like me, or you're just fucking stupid.
Imagine
Or
if
you're,
that's the case
or the fourth option, you're a fan of Teen Titans Go.
like,
So
we
you'll
everything
fit
into-
into either three of the categories I just listed.
yeah, like we want to put everything in Teen Titans Go. We don't have time for Steven Universe. We'll let you make it, but we won't promote it too much, and we'll just let it do its thing. We really want to focus on like Teen Titans Go. That's where the money is. And then that other show is gonna get cancelled because it hasn't had the care and attention that it needs to flourish.
Which has been happening a lot as of late.
It's a cycle. It's a cycle of shit. You know, like
Exactly. This
chucking a
shit
bag
has
of dog poo in the washing machine and pressing 45 minutes. All you're gonna get left with is a brown smear on the mirror. And no detergent. Out. I speak from experience.
God damn it. Did that actually happen to you?
Yeah, because what I do is when my dog has the shit, I put it in my pocket because there isn't dog poo dispenser on my way home, and sometimes I forget to take it out of my pocket. And so when I go to the washing machine,
Oh god.
yeah, I was joking, obviously.
Why does that have to happen with me and my family's dog? Oy, fuck.
Yeah. Anyway.
Alright.
I think it's pretty interesting that you and Carson quite like the show.
Ugh.
Each to their own, I suppose.
Yes.
Oy.
I mean, I also like Scooby Doo, so.
Yeah, you have a very strange taste in. Because you're Carson, you're a pretty smart guy, but I can tell. But you just like all this crap.
I know. I don't know. I just find it really entertaining.
I mean, I would say the same thing. I just that's I didn't hate it as much as everybody else. I mean, if I were to watch Teen Titans or Uncle Grandpa, I would let Teen Titans Go.
Wow.
Yeah,
Overall,
I'd rather watch Dora than watch those.
I'll just say, like, is there an episode of Teen Titans Go where all the characters genuinely want to save someone, not for any personal gain, but because, it's the right thing to do? Because
Not that I know.
not that I've ever seen.
I've only seen like 2
I
episodes. of the
I only remember one episode wherein Sylvia, I think you remember seeing this. That's
Yeah.
Silky was actually entering each person's dreams, and
Yeah.
when Silky entered Robin's mind, it actually showed them the original Teen Titans Go design, and they're
Yeah.
doing the typical Teen Titans Go hijinks. They did save the world,
Yeah.
but it ended up with Robin and Starfire kissing, and Raven decided to spread the word.
Yeah.
See,
That was
again,
you could see, but yeah, they did. It's like they're gonna do something serious. And then throw it up. No, not gonna do that. It's a silly shit. It's supposed to.
see, like, again, when, like, Robin and Starfire, finally kissed in Teen Titans, they were happy for them, and now, let's ruin it for them because it's funny.
Fuck you.
This is the antithesis of terrible writing.
That is not. Yeah, the epitome of terrible writing.
I mean, let's close this with this. Yes, a lot of people, specifically older fans of Teen Titans and Young Justice, hate the show because it's anything but what they wanted. But at the same time, we have kids who actually love the show, and it's also one of the highest rated shows on Cartoon Network.
Bullshit.
It's insane to think that by listening, if Cartoon Network listens to our whims and pulls it because we hate it, it's the same. Let's say someone hates Steven Universe and it's like, okay, we'll listen to this guy. We'll pull Steven Universe off, despite the
They
fact
almost did that with the Teen Titans going the Amazing World of Gumball all over the schedule. They almost did that.
Right. But more to the point, yes, it's because Teen Titans and Gumball are the highest rated shows, and they want to capitalize on it. And now that you have and the fact that that's something we can't deny. The kids love it, we hate it, and Cartoon Network is in this position wherein should we pull it out because someone hates it, or we keep it because it's the highest rated show?
I wouldn't tell them to get rid of it, but like if they said like, okay, Jack, we're thinking of maybe ditching the show. What do you think? I'd be like, yeah, definitely get something new in that's not morally bankrupt.
I mean, it would have been. We'll just simply say, it's much easier. We just say to them, just give us another DC animated series that's a little more serious. That's our thing. We'll leave Teen Titans Go to your own devices. Of course, that's not.
I mean, that's
not happening right now because of the live action Teen Titans going on on the TNT network. Where I did mention in my podcast that Robin and Hawk are the only male characters there. Everybody else is female. So I did mention that it may not be your cup of tea, or it may also not be your cup of tea when you read the comics, in which Starfire is an over-sexualized slut. But would you rather go for that or the Teen Titans Go?
I prefer.
Well, that's a bit extreme because, like, in the original Teen Titans cartoon, she was fine. Like, they changed it.
I don't know why. A lot of people hated it when DC changed her character completely into this. I don't know if you've seen
Idiot.
she's here. You see her in the bikini, flaunting herself with everybody. That's not the Starfire everybody knows. It's a completely different Star. But she is right now the official Starfire in the comics. So again, if you're
Yeah, that's fine, you know,
reading a Teen Titans story, that's more your thing. But you have this particular sort of character.
Comics and TV are like kind of different though. Like you're obviously gonna have to like change things. You know, like you're never going to watch a Batman episode where the Joker gets his face cut off and then stapled back on, are you? But yeah, it's perfectly acceptable for the comics.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the whole like other kettle of fish. But you know, for every medium, things are gonna have to be changed and redesigned, especially if you're making it into a certain age bracket, like
Exactly.
Titans did. You know. Yeah, which I get. So I get some fans would be annoyed, but I would try and be more like understanding with it. You know, like Batman and Brave and the Bold. Like sure, like I prefer Batman as being serious, but they want to do this, so just let them do it as long as it doesn't like suck completely. I won't really give a shit. But yeah, I think we have concluded this accidental master debaters. You could put that in a little.
What are you doing with this?
In conclusion, I would just say, Teen Titans, go fuck yourself.
Thank you.
Burn.
Take that.
Yeah. That's how we do it in Bricktown. Fucking hell. Alright, so we're going to finish up on our news podcast, and we're going to be moving on to our final live action movie based on animated material of this month.
Thank you, Jesus!
Speed Racer.
Praise the Lord!
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So we'll see you folks in. Well, unless you don't watch the second video, whatever. We'll see you. See you if in real time. We'll see you in a minute. Ta.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Bye.